Morning, everybody. So I was going to kind of chat a little bit about what I do, what I've done, where I'm coming from, so that their other wives, girlfriends, spouses, whatever, can kind of see, that I haven't always been in this place of preparedness and, wanting to share my skill set or whatever. I am just average chick on the street, really. Until 2 weeks ago, I worked as an underwriter for a major insurance carrier, underwriting small businesses and stuff for their, property and casualty. Anyway, so that's what I did, and I did that for 10 years. And I worked every day. I've had 4 children. My husband is in the military, deployed a couple times. So, it's stressful, and a lot of people think, well, I don't have time to prep. I don't have a skill set. I don't have, what do I do? How can I contribute to my husband or my spouse, my wife, whatever, that's really interested in this prepping business, or becoming more self-reliant. That's how we look at this. I know a lot of people are the preppers, and the end of the world is coming, the zombie apocalypse, our government's going to fail us types, and we have all of those realities also, but really at the end of the day, we were taking this direction and this course regardless of the state of our union right now. We want to be more self-reliant. We want to be up on our property, we want to be off the grid, and we want to be able to just totally do our own thing. But to get there has been a real learning experience, and it's kind of put us in this little prepper category, which is kind of cool because I'm getting to meet you guys and learn a lot about a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff out there. But my whole path in getting there, it's been a steep learning curve because, first of all, I am not a crafty chick. I don't do a lot of that typical girly crafty stuff. I grew up riding motorcycles and camping, and I kind of got roped into the office life just out of necessity, and it was a great life, and it's over now, thank you. But I wasn't, I knew how to cook. That was what I knew how to do. But canning, knitting, crocheting, scrapbooking, that was not my thing. I didn't know how to do it, and really, honestly, I didn't care. Because I had all those other things, all those other skill sets that were fun to me. But the thing that I had going for me was, I really like to cook. So I kind of grew my skill sets from there. Cooking kind of led to gardening because I kind of wanted to have my own vegetables, the stuff that I like. I wanted to have my own fruit, and it was very cool to kind of go from buying everything from the store to having my own garden. A girlfriend and I, while my husband was deployed this last year, she's got an acre vacant land next to her, so we cultivated that, and we planted an acre's worth of garden. I was actually it was about a total of an acre. We had corn, green beans, watermelons, cantaloupes. We had everything, a ton of tomatoes. Well, yeah, what do I do with all of that produce when it's time? So canning, that was the next step. I had no idea how to do that. That was ancient. That was to me, I was that was my grandma did. I don't need to do that anymore. But you start seeing the necessities, and then it's as you become involved in that, it's with each little learning, each little step that you take, you learn something new from it. So the best place to start to get involved is go from what you like. Take your skill set that you're interested in. So if you are, you do know how to knit or crochet and that stuff, man, start making blankets. Start, do that kind of thing. So but share your skill. That's another thing. That's a valuable thing. There are people out there that want to know that, if you know how to do it, make a video on it, because I bet you there are people out there that are going to listen to it and learn, like me, because I can't. So you just, you take your little bit of skill that you have and you grow on it, and you take it and you learn how to can. You learn how to grow a garden. That was huge learning experience for me. Obviously, you don't need to jump in with both feet and have an acre, because that was a lot. But it was two families working together to kind of, create enough produce for ourselves for the fall, and then she taught me how to can. So I did green beans, we did peaches and all that stuff. And you know what? So if you don't have a garden, that's okay. You can go buy a bag of apples from the grocery store and can your own applesauce. It's a good place to start, you know what I mean, to learn, so you don't have your own orchard. You think, okay, well, then there's nothing for me to can. Well, you might as well learn how to do it. You can go buy a bag of apples, like I said, or go up to an orchard that's around, if you have one, and buy a box of peaches. Let me tell you, I made a lot of peach jam because it was easy, it was a good starting place. And so, you kind of have to build on a skill set of things that you're already interested in. So that's kind of, I think, important to know. But knowing also that although now I have a lot of free time on my hands, I didn't always. And so you can still, even though you're busy, you're working, you're constantly, wrangling children, or, doing this, that, and the other, find some time to just pick something that you like. It doesn't have to be guns and ammo, or, it doesn't have to be canning. It doesn't, find something that you like, and then have that conversation with your spouse and say, hey, well, these are the things that I'm interested in. How do you think that this can help you? Or, your county extension offices also have a lot of valuable resources on self-reliance, the gardening classes and stuff like that. Look at some of those, and and have that conversation as a family, and kind of think, okay, well, these are the things that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in your guns and ammo. I really don't want to talk about the end of the world all the time. Let's keep it a little more on the cheery side, maybe. And so what can I do with my skill set now? How do you think I can benefit you? Have that conversation with your spouse, and maybe you guys can kind of come up with a plan together. Irish and I did that a lot. I mean, he would ask me for years, what do you like? What do you want to do? And I'd be like, I don't know. Right now, I'm just trying to keep my head above water and work every day and take care of these kids, or have these kids, or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's all I could think about, because that was my focus. And it still is. But slowly, you kind of just stick your little feelers out there, and you become interested and involved in other things. And, and then here you are. You have a skill set now. You know how to can. Or I learned how to make bread. Who'd have thought? I could go buy a loaf from the store, or I could buy a thing of yeast, and I've already got the flour, you know what I mean? And then learn that process. Little tiny skill sets, it's just go past your little comfort zone just a little bit, and learn something new about whatever your little skill is. Just keep pushing forward. Everything out there is a skill. In this whole entire self-reliant world, the world that we need to be, truly, what you can do is something that someone needs. So let's capitalize on that. Find your niche, you know what I mean? And then once you kind of get into that, you really do. You get little bits and pieces of information here and there, and then before you know it, you're really a lot more involved than you ever thought you could be. So that would be my recommendation, is start with what you love, and just kind of stick your little feet out there and learn a little bit more about that thing. And then you might find that you need to learn a little bit more about this thing to capitalize on this thing. And then you've got your hands in all kinds of pots, and then you're involved. It happens fast, and and you can do that being fully employed and having 1 million kids. It doesn't matter. I mean, I did it. Everybody can do it. It's just about that desire. And if your spouse is pushing you in that direction and they want to get you involved, they want you to be involved, probably not just because, whatever the situation may be, the government, this, that, the other. they want you to be involved because you're involved with them. So it's all about teamwork, man. It is so all about teamwork. You've got to be on the same page, so work together. And go team. You can do it. It's easy. You just got to take that first step. You got to find that niche. It might not be the niche your spouse wants you to be in, but you've got to do what you know how to do, and that's where you go. And then you build on that skill, and before you know it, you're going to be teaching your spouse a little bit about what you know, just the same as they've always been able to teach you a little bit about what they know. So it's a team effort. Get out there, feel a little bit more comfortable with what you're doing every day, and knowing that you can always do just a little bit more to make yourself more, to make you more self-reliant. That's really what this is about. It's, you know, it's not always about the end of the world. It's about, if something happened, could you take care of you? Evaluate your life. Evaluate your things that make you comfortable right now, and then think about all those things. If everything did fall apart, what would you need to kind of continue some happy life? So take those things and learn about them, and just build on it. One little thing at a time. Take what you like and then learn about it and go from there. So that's all I've got right now. Thanks everybody for all your support. I know my husband's awesome and he keeps kind of pushing me out there, and that's great. It's a little intimidating, I gotta tell you, but I really do. I appreciate everybody's kind words. Everybody's feedback is awesome. Keep it coming. I love the feedback because it gives me things to stew on, and I'm not a prolific video person like my husband is. I mean, he'll put out 5 and 6 a day. Good God, I can't do that. But I you know, stuff that I find interesting, I'm going to respond to, and I love it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.